In this segment, we are going to talk about the various aspects of writing. There are two aspects of writing, the mechanical aspects and the expressive aspects. Today we are going to talk about mechanical aspects of writing. Mechanical aspects of writing are connected to handwriting. When we speak about handwriting, we think about formation, book positioning, pressure, spacing between words and grip, writing tool grip. Now, we are going to discuss about the formation. When we are talking about formation, we talk about the size of the letter and the shape of the letter. Children with specific learning disability have severe difficulties in formation. Here, we are having a slide which shows the wrong formations of the child. The child might not have a proper closure for the letter and the formation of the letter might be very different. At an early intervention stage, when we talk about the mechanical aspects, formation gets a very important place. Letters and numbers need to be written in proper shape and size. Children with specific learning disability have severe difficulty in this. Now, I am writing the correct formation of certain letters. So, the letters need to be written in this particular way. Children with specific learning disability have severe difficulties in this. During early intervention, the child must be exposed to writing in different mediums like sand tray, sandpaper, where the child is made to trace on the sandpaper, clay, chalk powder. When it is done, the feedback received to the brain is different through each medium and the formation of letters would register in the brain. When the letters or numbers are incorrectly written by the child, the correction needs to be done in front of the teacher. The teacher needs to teach the correct formation to the child and any activity connected to writing need not be given as homework. An imposition kind of activity should never be done. Now, let us see the common mistakes children make while writing 8. Now, I am going to tell you how the correct 8 has to be written. Start from the top, come down and make an S and complete the S. This is the correct formation of 8. Now, take a look at this slide. It shows the arrow shows the correct direction in which the writing tool has to move. These samples are available in the internet and it will help you to guide the child to write better. Now, we are going to talk about the next mechanical aspect of writing, the position of the notebook. Position of the notebook plays a significant role in the quality of writing. The notebook needs to be kept at an angle of 45 degrees to the edge of the table for the child to write comfortably. Children with specific learning disability keep the notebook at 90 degrees and this causes a lot of strain on the shoulders, arms and the wrist. Hence, the legibility of writing suffers. Children with specific learning disability need to be taught to keep the notebook in the correct position. For that, we can draw the position of the notebook on the table and encourage the child to keep the notebook in that correct position. In case the child has difficulties with the muscles of the shoulders, then the child needs to be referred to an occupational therapist. Now, we are going to talk about children who are left-handed. These children need to be given a special accommodation and they need to be made to sit at the side of the table where they have enough space for the movement of their arms to make a legible presentation of their writing. The next important mechanical aspect is writing tool grip. Writing tool grip is the way the child holds the pen or pencil. The correct grip would be a tripod grip, but children with specific learning disability have very odd grips. This affects the legibility of writing and the reason behind it would be the child would have started to write at a very early age when the muscles have not yet matured. The grip of the child varies with age. This slide talks about the different kinds of grips children would have from the age of 1 up till the age of 7. At an age of 1 to 1.5, the child would have a cylindrical grasp. At this age, the child colors the walls and is attempting to write something on the wall, even though the formation, the shape, size, nothing would be there with the child. Between the age of 2 to 3 years, the child would have a digital grasp. The digital grasp would be a little far away from the tip, and the child would attempt to color or write in a slate or in a notebook. When the child moves to 3.5 to 4 years, the child would have a modified tripod grip. At this stage, we encourage the child to write in notebook and the child has to adapt to space. But actually the correct formation or the grip comes at the age between 4.5 to 7, when the child has a proper tripod grip and the child is able to write. Unfortunately, when the children at very young age are forced to write in the school system, the maturation of muscles are not there and hence the writing suffers. So, the child is not able to have proper formation and the child's legibility of writing becomes very poor. Children sometimes hold the pencil too close to the tip or too far away from the tip, and when the grip is very odd, we can use pencil grips available in the market. Now, we can even also do it yourself, where a pencil could be used with a rubber band, or we can use a clay dough for the child to have a proper grip. Next mechanical aspect of writing is pressure. Pressure is the force with which the writing tool is used on the notebook or on the board. Dyslexic children have certain difficulties where they use too high pressure or too low pressure on the writing medium. If the pressure is too high, then the impression is created on few pages in the notebook. If the pressure is too less, writing will not be visible. Hence, it would be difficult for anybody to follow what the child has written. Now, we have certain methods to help children with these difficulties. If the pressure is too high, we would use an X-ray sheet, a bubble wrap or an handkerchief which could be kept under the page of the notebook for the child to write. All these three would offer resistance and hence the pressure would come down. In case the child writes very lightly where the pressure is too less, then we could use dark pencils which would help the child to write better and the visibility of writing would be there. The next mechanical aspect of writing is the spacing between words. We need to give appropriate space between words for us to read what is written in the notebook. Dyslexic children find it very difficult to give appropriate space and write. Sometimes they give too large a space between letters and words, or they see to it that there is no space and the sentence becomes a run on. If the child writes leaving too much of space between words and letters, then we need to draw boxes in the notebook to encourage the child to write within the limited space. If the child has not left any space at all, then we need to teach the child to use one finger space for the child to leave and write. Either it can be a finger space or an eraser can be used in a vertical position for the child to understand that the child needs to leave a space between words. Having understood the factors that influence the mechanical aspects of writing, now let us discuss the situation in class where the child writes. We are talking about copying. There are two types of copying. The first one is far point copying, where the child has to read the sentence from the board, store it in the brain, look for the correct space in the notebook and then write. Near point copying is the copy the child does from the textbook which is near him or her. Copying involves two important aspects. One is tracking and the next one is phrasal copying. Tracking is following each sentence on the board or in the notebook and then writing. Phrasal copying. If the child has the potential to read, the child would be able to copy as phrases from the board or from the book. But children with specific learning disabilities have difficulties in reading, so they either copy letter by letter or word by word from the board or from the book. Children, to help these children who miss out on sentences when they are copying from the board or from the book, they need to be helped. For this, we can write the sentences on board in different colors, and the child is encouraged to copy each sentence in a particular color. This way, the child will overcome the difficulty. To encourage the child to copy in phrases, first the reading has to be enhanced, and next we can draw cradles on each sentence and help the child to copy in phrases. While drawing cradles, the cradle can be in different colors of the child's choice, and the child can be encouraged to copy in phrases. Find the verb, write V under it. Now start cradling before and after the verb. The cat sat on the mat. In the next line, underline the verb, write V under it. Now cradle before and after. The mat had a red dot. Write V under it. Then cradle, the dot was small. The cat was big. When this is done, the child would be encouraged to copy in phrases, and since the sentences are written in different colors, the child will not miss out on sentences, and tracking would also be effectively done. So far, we have discussed about the different difficulties children would have in mechanical aspects of writing, and we gave various remedial methodologies for the child to adapt. This table summarizes the difficulties and the remedial methodologies which can be adapted and help the child. Reversals of B and D, P and Q, and inversions of M and W. And for few numbers, we can write the letters or numbers in different colors preferred by the child and stick it on the top edge of the table. Allow them to correct the mistakes by just pointing it out to them. Here the B is stuck on the left side of the table and the D is stuck on the right side. This will help the child to have a visual image, and the child would be able to self correct the work if he or she does a mistake.